So, if you haven't heard yet, Donald Trump supposedly wants to turn the southern border into a moat with snakes and alligators like a fairy tale to help scare away the immigrants searching for a better life from coming into our country. He also allegedly wanted to put snipers at the border to shoot immigrants in order to slow them down from getting into this country. So, in other words, Trump wants to turn our southern border into an Israel and Palestine situation. But if you ask me, the only snakes and alligators they need to put at the border to scare people away is Mitch McConnell and Rudy Giuliani down there with Chris Kyle's ghost to look over them as they scourge at any brown person that runs their way. But now let's talk a bit about this new report that came out. Now, the New York Times is reporting that President Trump privately, of course not publicly, pushed for shooting migrants and for creating a water filled trench stocked with snakes or alligators along the US Mexican border. The Times also details how Trump has privately proposed other radical measures to curtail immigration, including closing the entire US Mexico border and building an electrified border wall topped with spikes to pierce human flesh, kind of like those bird spikes you see in New York City or Chicago to keep birds from landing on, ledges, or like those benches with spikes to keep those pesky homeless people to, not sleep there. Keep them on the fucking ground like they deserve because we don't help the homeless here. The Times also reveals that Trump has repeatedly raised the idea of shooting migrants during staff meetings. The paper reports after publicly suggesting that soldiers shoot migrants if they threw rocks, kind of like they do in Israel with the Palestinians at the Gaza border, as I mentioned. But the president backed off when his staff told him again that that was also illegal. But later in a meeting, aides recalled that Trump even suggested that they shoot migrants in the legs to slow them down again, saying that that's not allowed either, they told him. The Times article is based on a new book, by the way, Border Wars Inside Trump's Assault on Immigration by Times reporters Michael D. Shear and Julie Hitchfield Davis. So, again, this just shows how this current administration doesn't have any humanity, has no morale. The pro-life right is the ones right here saying that we should shoot people coming here for a better life because we are making immigration policies harder and those procedures. You need to know more loopholes to become a U.S. citizen. So again, this administration just continues to show that they don't have any regard for human life. The right is just kill, 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 project, project, project. And we need to do something. This president, this whole administration needs to be held accountable, especially in immigration reform ways, because what is happening is wrong. We have families being separated. Now the Trump administration wants to start doing DNA tests on these detained people. So there's just so much that we need to start doing. I know his base laughs at him. They're like, yeah, who cares? They're the edge lords of the internet. We're not trying to attract them anymore. Try to talk to the reasonable Republicans, the very few that are out there, to try to convince them to come over to our side. But that being said, this is a joke. I mean, he wants to put a moat at the southern border like this is a fucking Rapunzel or something, some fairy tale. It just shows how delusional he is in his mind, and how little of a grasp of reality Donald Trump actually has when it comes to real life. So, again, he wants to turn it into a fairyland book down at the southern border, and he also wants to turn it into a Palestine-Israel conflict where we can shoot innocent civilians on Mexico's side of the border if they throw rocks. Oh no, the rocks are hurting our heavily armored vehicles and our body armor. Oh, no. Yeah, exactly. We've seen this in Israel with Palestinians being brutalized and shot by, non-lethal rounds at the Gaza border, but we have still seen those people dying from those gunshot wounds because of where they're aiming. They're aiming for legs, where there's arteries you can hit and make them bleed out. So again, it's a very dangerous game we're in, and no one is holding this administration responsible. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. It's been great having you, and I hope you enjoyed what I talked about today. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, drop a comment below, and also make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at
The Daily Ember, no spaces or underscores, just simple as that to find. And also, if you'd like to become a $1, $3, or $5 donor to help support the show and what I do, you can go to patreon.com/The Daily Ember and sign up to become a monthly donor today. Once again, thanks for watching, and as always, this has been your Daily Ember.
Cooking soul to pay.